Good afternoon, members of the committee, fellow patients and advocates here and in cyberspace. My name is Joe Lanson. I thank you for allowing me to speak today. I've been ill for 6 years. My purpose today is very simple. I'm here to give my highest possible endorsement to the use of cognitive behavioral therapy, also known as CBT. It's my firm belief that if clinicians, medical researchers, and health administrators undergo a carefully supervised program of CBT, that they can have their incorrect illness beliefs cured completely. Now, I read the blogs, I keep up with the word on the MECFS street. I know that there are those who just don't accept CBT. I understand. Some of us say that we patients are at war, that we should treat doctors, officials, and scientists with incorrect illness beliefs as enemy combatants and treat them accordingly, an issue which is once again back in the news. Well, that's a straw duck I'd like to set up and knock down, quite literally. But let's explore the idea. So this is Biggest Duckus, who will be representing our clinician with incorrect illness beliefs. And let's run through the usual paces. We have stress positions, of course. We have intimidation. We have humiliation, other things like that. And finally, everyone's favorite, waterboarding. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? Oh, yeah, the duck has reminded me that he dunks in water all day, so actually waterboarding might not be a very good approach. And generally not. So that sets aside the war idea. Let's put aside CBT and other forms of interrogation and ask seriously, what would it take to get most clinicians, aside from the exceptional clinicians we have here and have had here, who volunteered to work with MECFS, what would it take to get them to change how they think? And that's another straw duck. Why? Let me tell you a story. The operative word here is think. My only remaining subsidized medical care is through the VA health system. And when I had another flare-up of MECFS, a little bit worse than I have it now, I was with a physician assistant that the VA had assigned to me. Tried for a year to get him to understand what I was going through and finally gave up. But I should have known early on, if I'd really been paying attention and cognitively functioning, I should have known, because one of the first things he did was look down at my test results, the standard test results they all do, and sort of turn his body towards me. He couldn't really turn his neck because he didn't have one. He was heavy set, much in the same way that the federal government is somewhat in debt. Anyway, my point is, he looked at my cholesterol results and said they're a little high and I should consider reducing my fat intake. That was probably his most memorable contribution to my medical care. A little disappointing. So what do we need? Instead of having clinicians, the majority of clinicians being the obstacle we are, as we've heard from the other people testifying, we need to bring them on board. We need to give them a test. If you will, a Geico-sponsored test. So easy a cave doctor can do it. That would change them into allies. It doesn't need to be perfect. As has been pointed out by its founder and others, the PSA test is certainly not perfect, but it has its uses. That's the test for prostate cancer, I believe. And if it raises more questions than it solves, that's fine. That'll get those clinicians asking questions. Right now, they don't care, as we've heard from other speakers. Last but not least, I want it known that I'm doing this for the primates. The primates who've given their lives in the service of MECFS research. As I think everyone here knows, rhesus macaques at Emory have been intentionally infected with the retrovirus HMRV, and they found it spread through the system, cleared from the blood, and lodged in organs, but who really cares about that? I mean, the real question I hate to criticize anyone specifically, but the real question is, where are the standard Form 36s that those primates filled out? What kind of graded exercise therapy did they receive? It's really, I can't believe they missed out on this opportunity for science. It was sloppy.
If you could please wrap up, Joe.
Thank you. That's all I had to say, and thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you.